Alright guys, and welcome back to the Saints View channel for Southampton content for our match preview and predicted lineup ahead of Aston Villa away on Sunday. We're combining both videos now into just one pre-game video. I think it's going to be a better format. It's just easier on the workload as well, so I hope you guys are okay with that. But before we get into it, do make sure to hit that subscribe button with your notifications turned on. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers, so the sooner we get there, the better. Follow us on our socials as well, and of course, as always, this video is kindly sponsored by the guys over at Pitch Sport. If you haven't downloaded their app yet, why haven't you? The link is in the description. Right, let's get into it. As always, let's talk about Saints first. What a result on the weekend. Probably the result and performance of the season. Beating top of the table Everton at home very convincingly. You know, it was a comfortable performance. It was a comfortable win. Everton didn't really have much of a sniff. I think they had one chance all game at 0-0. And after that, you know, we were dominant. You know, as bad as they were, we were excellent. I thought to a man, everyone putting in a good shift. And we look like a really strong outfit now, which obviously I'm not going to get too carried away with. This is Southampton we're talking about, but it's been a really enjoyable last couple of weeks. But yeah, 2-0 win against Everton, who had been sensational up to that point. Arguably could have lost the week before against Liverpool, but have won most of their games. You know, great run in the cup, great run in the league. It's this new look Everton team with James Rodriguez in there in particular that's been sort of stealing all the headlines. Dominic Calvert-Lewin can't stop scoring, and you know, he looked incredibly quiet on Sunday, and you know, that's a credit to the defence and the tactics and just all the preparation. I think to a man, we just knew exactly what we were doing, and I think Ralph got it spot on. You know, I said in my preview for all that game, I was confident that we could get a result from it, you know, coming into the game in good form, but I didn't think we'd go and win it, especially in the manner that we did. We could have scored more as well. So yeah, very, very happy with that. And the win puts us on the verge of the European places. We're currently sat in 7th, having had a pretty dodgy start with those defeats to Palace and Spurs, also getting knocked out of the cup. We look like a much better team again, which is obviously very promising. And it's put us into, you know, contention for a European place after 4 games where we've won 3 and drawn 1, you know, all good results in their own right. And now we've just got to go and build on that and see if we can get another result on the weekend against another high-flying team. But it's always nice to see Ward-Prowse get a goal, but especially Adams as well, getting 2 and 2 now. Ings assisting both of them. It looks like they've got a good partnership up front now. I think after Shea broke his deadlock against Chelsea last week, the goal against Everton was always going to come. And now he's in a good run of form again, ahead of a game against his former team's arch rivals. Could he get a goal at Villa Park as an ex-Blue Nose? We'll have to see. That'd be quite a good narrative. But all in all, I can't really fault anyone who started on Sunday. I think we've got a really good core now of a handful of good players, and we sort of build the team around them. Walker-Peters has been excellent. Vestergaard, surprisingly, has been incredibly solid. I think Romeo and Ward-Prowse have a great partnership in midfield now. Armstrong, he makes the team better whenever he's in it by a mile. And I think Adams and Ings up front, like I said, with the midfield, I think their partnership up front is getting stronger every game. But of course, 10 points from the last possible 12. It's a great return, but that's going to come under a big test on the weekend against high-flying Aston Villa. Let's talk about them a little bit, because up to last week, they've been fantastic. You know, 4 wins in a row to start off the season. They were on the verge of top of the league. A 7-2 win against Liverpool, which was just nuts. You know, they've been exceptional. I think a couple of signings this summer were actually good signings. You know, getting Watkins in, Ross Barkley on loan. I think Bertrand Traore could do a job for them as well. Of course, Emi Martinez in between the sticks will make a big difference to the defence. And I think they're a much different proposition than the side that we did the double over last season. Traditionally, a trip to Villa is never too complicated for Saints. We haven't lost there since 2004, which was, of course, the season we got relegated. Won there last season with a 3-1 win just before Christmas. A really good day out, that was. But again, like I said, this is a completely different Aston Villa, I think, that we're going to be facing on the weekend. Of course, coming into it with a 3-0 defeat against Leeds, that kind of brought them down to earth a little bit more after what had been such a strong start. But they'll be looking to make sure they react after that and try and continue their good form, because in the grand scheme of things, if they get a win on the weekend, that defeat to Leeds is just seen as a little blip. But of course, I'm no expert on Aston Villa, so I've asked Max from Villa on Tour to come back onto the channel to give us some insight on what this new look Villa has done, why it's worked so well for them at the start of the season, how he's feeling ahead of the game on Sunday.
Hello Dan and everyone at the Saints View. Max here from Villa on Tour. Southampton at home then on Sunday, 12 o'clock kickoff at Villa Park. I don't know, man, it's a tough one. Yes, we won our first 4 games of the season, but by any stretch, I do not think this is going to be an easy game. You lot, whenever I've watched you have looked good. Everyone talks about that 9-0 defeat, I think it was about a year ago, and I think you've won 16 games in like 34, which is very, very good. And I saw another table as well. Since the lockdown period, Southampton are 4th. So, look, I think some Villa fans may be a little bit complacent. You see Southampton at home and think, right, winnable game. But I don't think it's going to be as easy as people will be thinking. Yes, we won our first 4 games of the season and we have been fantastic. But I just think that Leeds 3-0 defeat at home on Friday night was a little bit of a reality check. And, you know, it was fairly easy for Leeds in the second half. They absolutely tore us apart. And yeah, they were class. I don't think it was all Villa being bad, but I think it was, you know, a combination of both. So, look, where are Southampton gonna look to punish us? I think down the wings, like I'm gonna go back to that Leeds game. They bullied us down the wings. They got so many bodies forward. Even when they were 3-0 up, they got bodies forward, and it really caused us problems. So look, I think Matty Cash has been fantastic. The start of the season, he's been really good. Former Southampton player Matt Targett has been okay as well. But I definitely think if you get bodies down the wing, it causes us problems. Danny Ings, Che Adams, 2 up top. I don't think we've faced 2 up top so far this season, so that'll be a new one. Look, Danny Ings, unbelievable player. He's probably the form striker in the Premier League, as he has been for months and months. He's just a fantastic striker. Che Adams as well, former Blue Nose. He's a really good player. But look, Ross Barkley, Jack Grealish, we are still going to cause Southampton problems. Ollie Watkins hasn't scored since the Liverpool hat-trick, but he'll bang up for it. So I'm gonna go 1-1. I think it could easily swing either way. I think it's a really hard game to predict. But yeah, I think it's going to be 1-1, tight game. Danny Ings obviously to score for Southampton, and Ollie Watkins to get one as well for Villa. But hopefully Villa can get the job done. And yeah, I'll see you when we play you at St Mary's, no doubt. So keep up the good work, guys, at the Saints View, and up the Villa.
Big shout out to Max for doing that. You can check out his channel in the description below. Not doing videos at the moment with no fans, but of course go back and watch his previous vlogs because they're all excellent. But let's talk about the predicted lineup, which for me at the moment, I think is pretty straightforward. I think Mohamed Salisu could come in for this one, but I don't see why he would after Bednarek had a good game against Everton with Vestergaard. For me, I think it's probably going to be an unchanged side. Djenepo is coming back in, or has been back in training from pictures that the club have posted, so I expect him to be on the bench. Some fans would argue that he could start against Villa instead of Redmond. I don't know how Redmond got Sky Sports' man of the match for the game against Everton on Sunday, but his performance is, I don't know what it is, but there's something lacking from him at the moment. He's just not looking that threatening in the final third. And in all honesty, I wouldn't be against Djenepo starting ahead of Redmond, but I think with Djenepo coming back from an injury, obviously I'd imagine Redmond to be starting this one. But apart from that, I think it's going to be McCarthy in goal. I think it's going to be the same back four with Bertrand on the left, Walker-Peters on the right, and then the centre-backs being Bednarek and Vestergaard. I don't think we're going to see a debut for Diallo just yet, or a full debut, that is. I think Romeo's been excellent next to Ward-Prowse, and he deserves to keep his spot. On the left, I think we will see Redmond. On the right, we have to be having Armstrong there. I know Walcott's back after being ineligible against Everton, his parent club, on the weekend, but having Armstrong in the team just makes us a better outfit, and he has to be ahead of Walcott, in my opinion. And then Adams and Ings up front, I think it's a pretty straightforward side. I think it's the best side we've got at the moment, and is, you know, in that sense, it's pretty straightforward. It's just interesting to see who Ralph brings off of the bench, because there are a few places that are a little bit in danger of being changed. I definitely think Redmond is probably the most at risk at the moment. You know, you got Djenepo, he scored against West Brom. He could definitely come in there. Salisu's knocking on the door of starting now. He's been with the team for a couple of months after signing. You'd say Bednarek's probably the obvious choice to drop out at the moment. Romeo, of course, we signed Diallo. He's another one. But so they all have to keep performing, and I think we're going to do that. That leads me nicely onto my prediction, actually. I think for this one, I want to say we're going to win it. I think on paper, it's a game, or a fixture, sorry, that Saints tend to do well in. Of course, at the moment, that's kind of blown out the window given how both teams have started the season. But in my last couple of previews, I've predicted draws, and we've come away from both games with good results. Of course, I predicted a draw against Chelsea. We got that. Predicted a draw last week against Everton. We won. So I think for the sake of jinxing it, I'm going to predict a draw, hoping and thinking potentially we could win it. So I'm going to predict 1-1 for this. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think two sides in great form at the moment. It's just a case, I think, having lost 3-0 to Leeds last week, Villa might come into it with a little bit of a lack of confidence, whereas Saints are flying at the moment and we're very confident in our own ability. So I'll be really interested to see how it goes. like I said, I think I'm going to go for a 1-1. I do think it'll be close. So thank you so much for watching the video. Let me know in the comment section below how you think the game's going to pan out, what you're predicting score-wise, all of that sort of stuff. Like the video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't yet already. Follow us on our socials, and we'll see you very soon for hopefully a review after a big 3 points. Take it easy, guys.